The baby eats and tells his daddy that loves him. The other daddy is crying with happiness. This is Masaki and Hiramu. Masaki takes care of the baby at home. Hiramu works at the office. The baby's name is Hikari. He's almost 2 years old. They're a very ordinary family. Masaki is and he's worried that Hiramu is the alpha. They used to live in a place where omegas were discriminated against. Hiramu is very angry about the inequality. His coworker Matsuo is worried about the guys and their child. Hiramu is forever rewatching videos of his favorites. Masaki came to visit him at work. The coworkers are crazy about the baby. Suddenly they see a document that says the mother is Omega. One man was very surprised. Masaki was scared, but tried not to show it. Coworkers didn't say anything to him since Hiramu is their boss. Hikari cried and wanted to be held by his daddy. At home, he fell asleep immediately. Masaki carried his son for 10 months. Hiramu wanted a kiss from his Omega. He worried that Masaki's pheromones might attract other men. Hikari woke up in the evening. Hiramu realized that he cried then because Masaki was scared. Christmas is coming. The family decorated the tree. The baby was entrusted with the most important thing, putting a star on top. Hikari's name means star. He was very happy when he found out and told everyone that he is a star. In the evening, Masaki told Hiramu about it. The man was happy. The next day, Hikari noticed that it was dark outside and wanted to turn on the lights, but they didn't light up. He started shaking the tree and the star fell down and broke. The child was very upset. Masaki consoled him and said that no one would be angry with him because of this. The garland didn't work because he forgot to plug it in after cleaning. Hikari continued to be sad about the star because now it would be dark for his parents. Masaki said that as long as he was around, they wouldn't be afraid of darkness. Hiramu came home from work and brought a new star for the tree. Everyone was happy. A neighbor is reacting strangely to our family. His name is Yuuki. The guys said hello to him, but he silently ran away. Hiramu has gone to work, which makes Hikari sad. Yuuki's mom asked the guy to play with the baby. He tried to refuse, but was persuaded. Hikari liked him right away. The boy acted like he didn't like the baby, but came to play with him every day. Masaki thanked him for that. Yuuki had no friends and didn't understand why Hikari had so much fun with him. In the evening, the family went swimming together. The parents were also surprised that their child was so attached to the boy. In the afternoon, Masaki and Hikari met him at the store and invited to their place, but he's afraid of Hiramu. On the way they met his classmates' parents, the man called him unsociable since he has no real friends. Masaki said that he and Hikari are real friends. Sitting down on a bench, the boy said that he has had no friends since he was a kid, and he is afraid that Hikari will grow up and be disappointed in him too. Masaki said that the boy has no idea how much Hikari cares about him. He's his first friend. Yuuki came to their house and fell asleep with the baby. He reminded Hiramu of the old Masaki, who was afraid to burden others. The next day, Masaki suddenly felt sick. Hiramu called Matsuo to look after the baby. Yuuki came over as well. The man told them how to take care of Hikari. They tried to keep him distracted and not mention Masaki so he wouldn't worry. Hiramu couldn't check on his lover since he not only has a cold, but he's also in heat. The man doesn't communicate with his parents. They were against him marrying an Omega. It's time for dinner, but no one knows how to cook. Masaki was relieved and listened to them through the door. The udon turned out horrible. Hikari started crying. Yuuki dragged him over to Masaki. He had given himself a shot for his heat, so he looked really bad. The kid only started crying harder. Hiramu was having a hard time too, since he can't see his lover when he feels bad. Masaki felt better in the morning. Hikari was very happy. Masaki had a dream about Hiramu's father. They hadn't seen each other for a long time, and suddenly the dream came true. The grandfather came to visit his grandson. Masaki was not happy to see him, but tried to keep his temper. Hikari tried to chase the old man away. Grandpa said the kid was all over Hiramu and left. Hikari was happy to have one. Hiramu was uneasy when he found out about his father's visit. He is a very powerful man, pressured Masaki in the past, and tried to prevent their marriage. Hiramu visits his parents sometimes, and they have promised that they will have no contact with Masaki. He is afraid that his father might hurt him, as he hates Omegas. But Masaki hopes that he has changed and offers to give him a chance. Hiramu promises to talk to him. They kissed and Hikari came in. He fell asleep in his father's arms. In the morning, Hiramu's father came again. The conversation didn't go well at first, but suddenly the old man said that an Omega wife isn't so bad, especially since their child is an alpha, so he didn't mind if they all moved in together. Hiramu didn't want to hear anything. Matsuo remembered how our couple had started dating. Masaki had an inferiority complex because he was an Omega, but they were still a happy couple. Hikari walked into the room, told Grandpa not to offend his parents, and to apologize to them. The old man apologized and said he came to make up. Hikari won again. The man apologized to Masaki again and asked him to take care of his son. Hikari's birthday. The guests came and Grandpa sent a bunch of presents. Masaki didn't think he'd ever have a family. He's glad he met Hiramu. Suddenly, Masaki is pregnant. Hikari woke up in his crib and started crying. Parents quickly calmed him down. Matsuo and Yuuki welcomed him in the living room. The baby would soon become a big brother. At the store, they bought new clothes for Hikari. He wants to dress like his dad. His parents think he will have a sister. Hiramu met some of his father's friends at the store. He doesn't like the fact that everyone emphasizes that the kid is an alpha. A lot of old people act like that. Masaki remembered how difficult it was as a child. He hopes the girl wouldn't be an Omega. He even thought about getting rid of her beforehand if he could find out she is Omega. Hikari prepares for the birth of the sister. Masaki tries to banish bad thoughts from his mind. Hiramu hugs him, kisses, and calms down. Hiramu tells his father about the upcoming addition to the family. They had already chosen a name for the girl Hinata. It means sunflower. A little time passed and she was born. Hikari wanted to feed her jelly, but mother wouldn't let him. They all came to Hiramu's parents' house, but the owners were stuck on a business trip. The friends decided to play hide and seek. Hiramu wanted to find his son first, but Matsuo was too bad at hiding. Hikari didn't do too well either, but cute. Now he would search. The boy quickly found his little sister and father, and then everyone else. Matsuo suggested hiding in the whole house. He and the children would search. Masaki decided to hide in his husband's room. Hiramu finds him and offers to mess around. He is worried that his wife has bad memories of the house. However, Masaki said that the house is very cozy. They were found. You don't have to change your favorite places, it's better to have more of them. It's the same with favorite people. Matsuo got really tired of playing with the kids. The man brought lots of old books for them and told Hikari what it was like to be a big brother. The boy wanted to feed his sister an apple, but she can't eat that yet. Masaki told him that Hinata likes to watch him eat. Hikari is trying very hard to be a good big brother. He wants to be independent so he can help his sister with everything. He even wanted to give her his favorite toy, but Masaki said he shouldn't sacrifice what he likes. When he decided to eat on his own, he spilled the milk and cried. As it turned out, the boy had a fever. Masaki thinks it's because of stress. He feels guilty for not watching him. Hikari just charmed him with his behavior. Hiramu kissed his wife and said he would look after Hinata today. Hikari wanted to wake up quickly and play with his sister. He said he loves Masaki. Hikari accidentally opened the letter that came to his mom. Masaki was surprised by the message. Unexpectedly, Hiramu's parents called. The husband was not happy to spend the weekend at their house. However, the others were fine with it. The grandfather prepared for the grandchildren's arrival, set up a flag with Hikari's name and a huge fish. Hiramu's parents threw a great party. Masaki is not used to being treated well and is afraid to get used to it. The morning letter was from his uncle. He wants to give the guy something. Masaki doesn't really want to come to his hometown. Hikari was running around the house and accidentally dropped his grandmother's kimono. The woman came to the noise and said it wasn't hers. She wants to give it to Masaki. She realizes it's hard to forget the past, but asks for forgiveness. She was supposed to give the kimono as a gift for their wedding. Masaki was happy, but when he saw that everyone was looking at him, he was shy. At the end of the day, Masaki decided to visit his hometown. They'll go there together. Friends also agreed to keep the family company on the trip. Hiramu feels anxious since he has never been to Masaki's hometown. The people there are very oppressive to the Omegas. Thanks to becoming closer with Hiramu's parents, Masaki is less afraid of this. Matsuo thinks that all these changes happened because of the children. As it turns out, today is Hiramu's birthday. He had conveniently forgotten about it, but he was welcomed home with congratulations. Hikari drew a picture for him. The kid said that Misaki was smiling all day thanks to the holiday and thanked his father for that. Hiramu was happy. At night, Misaki confessed that he is really afraid to go to his hometown. But he was still determined to go to end the past and asked not to interrupt. Hiramu agreed and said that he would just watch, and if anything, he would take his lover away. Misaki told him that besides his uncle, he has a cousin. Family and friends are all together at the hot springs in Masaki's hometown. Tomorrow, they will meet with the uncle and later visit his parents' grave. They are staying at a hotel where Masaki's cousin works. For some reason, the guy didn't want to see anyone. Suddenly, they met him. He was very unfriendly. As it turned out, he and Misaki had been engaged before. Kazuhiko said he has what his uncle wanted to give him. It's a letter Masaki's mom once wrote, and he's not going to give it back. Their engagement was consummated by adults while drinking's sake. Everyone realized it meant nothing. Hiramu was angered by the guy's behavior and even wanted to take the letter away by force, but they agreed to talk later. Misaki really wants to know what the letter says. The kids are asleep and the cousin is coming soon. Misaki wants to visit his parents' graves so they would see that their son has found happiness. The cousin finally arrived and kept saying he won't give the letter. He started making fun of our couple's relationship and said that Misaki always wanted to be alone. He's a beta. I don't know what that is. It was obvious that the guy had feelings for Misaki. He's deeply hurt and feels betrayed, and he's sure Misaki is unhappy. Hiramu told him not to say what he didn't know and not to judge anyone because they are Omega or Alpha. Misaki didn't understand why he couldn't say anything himself. He told Hiramu that he had failed and ran away from his problems again. Hiramu hugged him and said there was nothing wrong with that. He doesn't want his beloved to be hurt. Misaki wishes he had been born not as an Omega. He is afraid that eventually everyone will leave him. Hiramu said he will always be there for him. He wants to live this life together. Misaki started crying with happiness. They kissed. In the morning, the friends worried about yesterday. Yuuki was unaccustomed to treasuring someone. The children woke up their parents. On the street, Misaki met with his cousin. The guy said he had misunderstood yesterday. He was ashamed of his behavior. He just didn't expect Misaki to change and thought he would take him back. He was confused about his feelings since he was used to looking out for him as a child. He handed over the letter and left. The guys carried flowers to the grave. In the letter, Mom wrote that she wanted Misaki to meet someone in the future with whom she would live in love. She always loved him, even though she often hurt him. At home, Hikari tried to marry Misaki. Yuuki showed him a book about the wedding. Hiramu said that Misaki already belongs to him. Hikari cried, but Yuuki suggested the kid be a priest. They held an impromptu wedding. Hikari grew older. He no longer cries when his mom is not around. His grandfather gave him a wallet, and now the boy wants to run some errands. Hiramu has devised a plan. He handed him a letter for his grandfather and sent him to the mailbox. Hikari was to be followed by a disguised Yuuki, but as soon as the child stepped outside the gate, Yuuki's mom brought him back. Hikari went to run the errand again, but he was brought back again. The third time, he returned on his own with a flower. Hikari went to run the errand again, and it started to rain. The letter got wet. Hiramu came up with a new task for his son. He had to meet Masaki and Hinata and bring them an umbrella. The boys were of course watching him. The letter reached the grandfather, and he was glad. Hikari began every morning bringing a letter to their new neighbors. His recipient is a dog named Ran. The little boy loves him, but continues to be afraid of dogs. He puts the letter down and hides behind Masaki. The boy is sad because of his fear. Hiramu decided to talk to him about it. He told his son not to be afraid of the dog just because it's big. Ran never barked or attacked. He's nice. Tomorrow Hikari will try not to hide behind Misaki. In the morning, the boy apologized to Ran. He said that wasn't afraid anymore and wanted to be friends. They hugged. The neighbor said she would always welcome the boy to visit them. Misaki took a picture of Hikari with the dog and sent it to Hiramu. In the evening, he got another message from his uncle. The next day, they were already at his house. He wanted to meet his nephew's family. Kazuhiko was ashamed because of the last time. Hiramu sat with a fake smile. Once alone with him, Kazuhiko gave the man an old Masaki's photo album. Hinata recognized her mother in the photo. Kazuhiko apologized for acting arrogant last time. Matsuo told Yuuki that he has 2 brothers. They have a fun family. Yuuki wondered if they would like a moody guy like him. He wants to get closer to the family of someone he cares about. Masaki and Hiramu were happy that things were finally getting better. They weren't afraid of anything now. They kissed. A couple of days later, Hikari met some kid. Hikari became very interested in the child and started calling him Tomato because of his hairstyle. The boy got scared and ran away. Hikari followed him to make friends. The kid's name is Mikeru. His father Aayato didn't mind the children playing together. Hikari introduced them to his sister. Masaki hopes the boys will become friends. Aayato was happy to meet them, as they had just moved here and didn't know anyone. The man immediately realized that Masaki is an Omega, since he and Mikeru are 2, as well as his late wife. Mikeru was hungry and the new friends headed home. Masaki saw the baby Omega for the first time. Since then, Hikari and Mikeru started walking together every day. Aayato needs to start going to work again, but he is afraid to leave his son with someone else. He loves his kid, who reminds of his wife. Masaki said he can look after the child until Aayato decides on a kindergarten. The man agreed since the guy is an Omega and resembles his wife. Hiramu supported the idea, although he was a little confused about the reason why Aayato trusted Masaki. Masaki told him how happy he was that his alpha child had befriended an Omega. Hiramu was anxious to see Mikeru. The couple kissed. Masaki said that Mikeru looked a lot like Yuuki. Aayato left his son with his friends. He wanted to see Hiramu, but the man was abruptly summoned by his father. Aayato had a hard time leaving Mikeru. After a couple seconds, he was already starting to miss the child. Mikeru started to feel sad as well, but Hikari cheered him up. Hinata had fun along with them. At the end, everyone fell asleep together. Hinata started crying in her sleep and woke Mikeru up. He started looking for his daddy, and since Aayato was still at work, he started crying. Masaki realized that the kid had been holding his emotions all this time. Hikari woke up too. When Mikeru saw him, he immediately calmed down. Masaki was relieved. Aayato came home from work and noticed that the boy was crying. Masaki told him what had happened and that Mikeru loves his father very much. The next day, Yuuki taught the kids how to ask for Halloween candy. He was excited to meet Hikari's new friend. Someone came and scared the children. Who are they? As it turns out, the mysterious guys are the Matsuo brothers, Shudo and Yuyudo. The twins have wanted to see Masaki for a long time. The last time they saw him was when Hikari was still in the belly. Hikari said he doesn't like them. They were sad about it. Mikeru told them not to hurt his friend. They said they want to be friends with him too and asked the boy for help. Masaki meanwhile tried to convince Hikari that the guys are nice. On Mikeru's advice, the twins put on ears, since Hikari likes dogs. But they actually have their own plan. First, Yuyudo will dress as a monster and capture Mikeru, and then Shudo will rescue him. And since they look the same, Hikari won't realize who the savior was. The plan was good, but Yuyudo forgot to put on the mask. Mikeru scolded them and told them to be dogs. Whoa! Hikari thanked his friend. After that, the twins started hitting on Yuuki. The parents told them that the boy is Matsuo's potential bride. Yuuki said that there was nothing between them, but then realized that the man is not just a friend to him. He asked the twins not to invade his privacy, and Matsuo came to his rescue. Yuuki hid behind him. The brothers left satisfied. Yuuki asked if the man had a girlfriend. He didn't. Hikari gave the guy a candy and told him to share it with the one he loves. Yuuki immediately gave it to Matsuo, but then got embarrassed. The brothers thanked everyone and got ready to leave. Matsuo and Hiramu decided to give them a ride. Matsuo told them not to hit on Yuuki anymore. Even though they had gotten close, they were too far apart in age. Hiramu said that he was wrong to say that, and that he has become happier since he met Yuuki. Finally, the twins said that it was obvious for them how much the guy likes Matsuo. Aayato missed Hiramu again. But he met Yuuki and noticed that the guy looks like his son. When the man left, Yuuki told Masaki about his worries and that when Matsuo finds a girl, he will no longer be able to rely on him. Masaki said that Matsuo looked happy when the guy gave him candy. Yuuki stayed overnight at their house because he wasn't feeling well. Because of that, Matsuo had to sleep on the couch. The guy went down to get some water and saw Hiramu and Masaki kissing. Seeing this, he thought of Matsuo. The man woke up and Yuuki asked him to sleep together. Matsuo was a little hesitant, but agreed to go to bed with him. Yuuki was embarrassed and the man said he was joking because the bed is too small for two men. Yuuki saw that his expression was like Hiramu's after kissing Masaki. Yuuki thought about the fact that he never touches anyone so much but Matsuo and hid under the blanket. He realized that he had been acting inappropriately the whole time. Because of that, he stayed up most of the night. Both of them were very sleepy. Hikari shared an apple with Yuuki. On the way to work, Hiramu asked Matsuo what happened during the night. The man stopped denying that there was something between them and said that the guy is starting to realize it too. At the job, Hiramu noticed a well-made curb and Aayato approached him, thinking he was a subordinate of the customer. Hiramu said he just works for a company that also does construction and gave him his card. The company he works for is very famous. His father suggested that Hiramu and his family have dinner at the place tonight, but they have other plans. Aayato is already at their house, waiting for Hiramu to return from work. The man said that his son had become more cheerful and even learned to make jokes thanks to Masaki's family. It was hard for them to live because they were Omegas. Masaki noticed that Ayato's ears were red. The man realized that the problem was that he was about to have those days. Hiramu returned from work. Aayato didn't know he was an alpha. Hiramu realized what was going on. He told Yuuki to take the kids outside and not to come in. Then he thanked Aayato for spending time with his wife and kids, apologized to Masaki and left. Aayato realized that Hikari, Matsuo, and the others were also alphas. He asked why Masaki had surrounded the two Omegas with their natural enemies. The problem was that Hiramu reacted to his pheromones. An Omega can't be around an alpha. Aayato thanked Masaki for everything and said they can't see each other anymore. Hiramu took a cold shower right in his suit. He apologized to Masaki for what happened. His body just reacted to the Omega in heat, but he would still never cheat on Masaki. They kissed. Hikari asked his father to read a book. Masaki said he would try to talk to Aayato again tomorrow. It's been a week. Aayato ignores Masaki's messages. Hiramu said that it happens, and that there are some people who are impossible to get along with. He doesn't care about discrimination against Omegas or being thought badly of because his wife is an Omega. He only cares about his family and doesn't seek understanding with others. But Masaki is different. He has a good heart and wants everyone to be happy. Hiramu will only stop him if he thinks somebody is not worthy of the effort. Masaki was very happy with his words. Hikari decided to make origami for everyone, including Mikeru and Aayato. Yuuki met Masaki on the street. Matsuo told him about the situation with Aayato. He was worried about them. Masaki said that everything is fine and they will definitely make up. Hikari came out and gave the guy origami. Yuuki is going to Matsuo's house for dinner and his mom decided to help him buy some presents. On the street, he saw Aayato with Mikeru. The man grabbed his son and wanted to run away, but the boy shouted to them that he is a beta. This calmed Aayato down. Yuuki told him that Masaki and Hiramu have known each other for 10 years, but have only been married for 3. Masaki was afraid to show his feelings to Alpha, and Hiramu was afraid of tying Masaki to him forever and wanted the Omega to feel free. Thus Yuuki tried to convey to the man that mutual respect is very important, much more important than the fact that someone is an Omega and someone is an Alpha. Masaki wrote to Aayato and waited for him in the park with Hiramu. The man did show up. He apologized for being rude and said that he is suffering from an excess of pheromones, which was causing him problems all the time. Because of his age, the problem will go away soon, but he's afraid Mikeru will have the same problem. Hikari was very happy to see his friend, but Aayato didn't want to let Sun go. The boy tried to ask his permission and showed him the gifts he had made for them. Ayato's heart melted and he let Mikeru go. Masaki said that they both knew pain and should try together to make sure their children wouldn't have to go through the same thing. Aayato almost cried. A month passed. Everyone got together to celebrate Christmas. Aayato was worried that almost everyone was an alpha, but Hiramu told him it was time to get used to it since he would see them at work. Mikuru's name means moon and Hikari's name means star, so together they light up the night. Twins were surprised at how handsome Aayato is. They asked Mikeru if he needed a daddy. There were so many guests, even Masaki's cousin sent a gift. It was a beautiful story. Thank you for watching.